Hi everyone, 안녕하세요. My name is Max and I am a full-time short-form content creator here in Seoul, South Korea. I make videos about my stories, experiences, and favorite businesses from my time living here in Seoul. And today I'm going to answer your burning questions about what life is like here as a full-time content creator while painting on this canvas. Or at least attempting to, because I'm not good at painting, but let's see how it goes. It's been about 2 months since I moved back to Korea. I studied at Yonsei in 2019 for 6 months. I lived in Jeju-do as an English teacher for like 6 months. I am now back as a full-time content creator, and it's been around 2 months, which is crazy. Time has gone by very quickly. My biggest platform right now is TikTok. TikTok is my tried and true. I've been with her for 2.5 years now. I'm now at 1.2 million followers, which is absolutely insane. And I'm also pretty active on Instagram as well, at around 145,000 followers. So when I graduated college in 2020, which was peak COVID, I mean, I was upset for a lot of reasons, as I'm sure you all were too. And one of the things that I was upset about was that I had no vehicle to show the world what I had learned. I felt like I had no sort of creative outlet to share what I had worked so hard to achieve for myself. And as someone who naturally liked performing and storytelling, it only made sense like, oh, what if I start telling stories about living in Korea? Korea is one of the most special places that I've ever been to in my entire life, and the fact that I get to explore it now on my own terms is something really special, because I was always either a student or a teacher here, and I always had obligations to other people. But now the ability to travel Korea and experience it through my terms and my terms only is something really exciting and special, and something that I've come to love about this new chapter. Where do I go from here? What's the biggest culture shock that I experienced? I think the biggest culture shock that I experienced is how quick people ask me if I have a girlfriend or if I'm married. It's like the third or fourth question that I get. Boys, girls, all generations, like no one has an issue being like, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a Korean girlfriend? Do you want a Korean girlfriend? It's like, okay, take me out to dinner first, geez, you know? Someone asked, how is the iced coffee? Chef's kiss. I also know who asked this question. It was my sister. Hi, Liza. Because my sister sees me having like 5 cups of coffee a day, and she's like, why are you drinking so much coffee? And I'm like, you just have to here. Korea is just obsessed with its coffee, and there's a lot of terms to describe people's various obsessions with coffee. There's a phrase here in Korea called 얼주가, which is 얼어 죽어도 iced Americano, which basically means like, even if I freeze to death, I'm still gonna get an iced Americano. And I resonate with that on like a spiritual level. I haven't painted anything in the past 10 minutes. Can we find a job in Korea without speaking Korean? Sure. I would argue that it's probably easier to find a job in Korea that doesn't require Korean speaking skills than ones that do. If you want to find a job that utilizes Korean and English, I think those are sometimes even more specific and harder to find than ones where they're just looking to hire you for your English skills. Do I have tips to learn Korean? Again, how much time do you got? But I think one of the things that has helped me, just in terms of vocab, is what's called cumulative learning style, or cumulative approach to vocab. So let's say you have 100 terms. You can't move on to the next term unless you can recite all of the definitions that precede that term. And then in terms of speaking, I like to watch yeonang shows. I like to watch a lot of variety shows with subtitles, Korean subtitles. So I'll just watch it first and listen to how folks are saying certain words, and then I'll go back and I'll try to recite the words as they're happening with the subtitles, and then I'll go back again, try to do it without sound and just myself reading the subtitles. My favorite Korean word, 꼬불꼬불. I really don't even know how to explain this, but Korean has a lot of words where they kind of mean what they sound like. Like 반짝반짝 is like sparkling, and it almost like sounds like sparkling. Is that weird? Do you know what I mean? It's like 반짝반짝. Like you can almost hear the definition as you're saying it. 꼬불꼬불 means like winding. And I kind of have curly hair, which is 곱슬머리, but I used to like kind of think it was like 꼬불꼬불 because my curls are like kind of winding. And it kind of just like sounds like winding to me. It sounds like 꼬불꼬불. Why am I a literal ajushi? Okay, what's it like being a member of the LGBTQ plus community in Korea? I do identify as queer. I think the LGBTQ plus experience as a foreigner here in Korea is so dramatically different from the LGBTQ plus experience of Koreans here. By nature of me being a foreigner, I do not have to confront a lot of latent homophobia that exists here in Korea on a day-to-day basis. Not only am I not in a relationship currently, I also don't feel like I need to share my private details with anyone really. And there is a thriving LGBTQ plus community here in Korea. I think a lot of people think that there isn't. There very much is. It's just a lot quieter than what we perceive of the LGBT community in the Western context. But it's very much alive, and it's beautiful and it's colorful and people have a great time. And if you're curious about learning more about LGBT communities here in Korea, I suggest you do so from LGBTQ organizations, Korean-based organizations, and less from foreign queer people living here in Korea. These are crabs, by the way. These are crabs. My secret to finding new places to share, which from now on will no longer be a secret if I say it now, is you go on Naver and you have to search for things in Korean, right? So if you're going to a new neighborhood, let's say you're going to Pangbae for the first time, you gotta go onto Naver and look up Pangbae 맛집 or Pangbae 추천, and Pangbae cafe 추천. And if you search on Naver, you find a lot more local spots, local reviews. You'll see which places come up more often than others, and that's a pretty surefire bet to have a little bit more of a local experience as opposed to the English sites telling you where to go. So this is a really good question that I get from followers is, as a content creator, are you making more money from the content or from brand deals? The answer is almost always brand deals. I don't know anyone who's making more income from their content passively than they are from brand deals. Is it common for Korean brands or restaurants to reach out to creators here in Korea? I think it's certainly common, but I think it's a little bit more common for Korean creators rather than foreign creators. This crab is not great. What are some of the challenges you face in accurately representing Korean culture and traditions in your videos? I think one of the challenges I certainly face in representing Korean culture and traditions in my videos is that by nature of making short form content, at all times I have to always give a bit of an abridged take on some of these things, which presents me a little bit with the struggle of trying to share the nuance of what I'm displaying, share the history of it, while also keeping the video lighthearted, entertaining, quick. How do I ensure that I present a authentic and respectful perspective to my audience? Certainly there's a couple of quick tactics that I do. For example, I don't film people without their permission. I don't walk into a restaurant and put my phone up in the emo's face and get her facial reaction to me speaking Korean. I always keep the videos at an albeit very not attractive angle, but I always keep my phone right here if I'm having a conversation. So if they say something like, oh, you're so good at Korean, and that's something that I want to share with people, then I can. But I think the first step is just being mindful of people's space. This is seaweed, by the way. This is now seaweed, by the way. The best piece of advice I think I have is just to do it. Just do it. Just post whatever's on your mind, so long as it's not inflammatory or hurts people. Just post. Just whatever you want to tell the world, whatever you want to show the world, whatever you're good at, just post it. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself in doing so. You're going to learn a lot about how to make content over the course of doing so. And then one day, if this is right for you, if this path is right for you, something's going to work out. A video is going to go viral, someone's going to see it, someone in the right position is going to see it. Something, I think, is going to work out, and the universe is going to tell you to keep going. And there's a chance the universe might not. And perhaps it's the universe in a way telling you that this type of really public lifestyle where you constantly have to put yourself out there maybe isn't the best for you. And there's absolutely no shame in that. It is not like if you can't do content that there is something wrong with you, or that you couldn't hack it. It is a very, very specific lifestyle that is not always something that people should aspire towards. It's not right for everyone. And just because you're not good at content necessarily, or you're not viral at content, does not mean you're not good at all the things that you were putting into that content. Final words, oh God. If you've been on this journey with me since the summer of 2020, when I was making content out of my parents' home and I was yelling at my father in Korean and he was yelling back at me in English. If you've been here since then, I cannot thank you enough for sticking with me and supporting me through this whole time. And regardless of whenever you joined me in this journey, it means the world to me. Honestly, it was 2.5 years in the making, but I feel like this is just the beginning. Like there's truly so much more out there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the rest of my 20s is gonna bring. And I'm gonna bring you along with me all the while. So I really appreciate you being here. Are you all ready? Are you ready? Oh my God, this is so, ta-da. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. This is a Jeju landscape. Jeju's a place that changed my life forever, and so it's not the best, it's not Picasso, but it's Picasso to me. That's all that matters. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you have any additional questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. And this is my life in Korea. The reason why I'm so passionate about my crabs right now, these crabs.
Turn it around.
Turn around. 없지 않네? 잠시만요. 오!
Oh.
오!
Is it good?